Oh, hi there. Hi there, small business owner. Hi there, entrepreneur. Okay, so this video is for you. If you ever feel slightly worried about generating sales and paying your bills, so that balance between your inflowing of cash and outflow of cash, worried about whether you're going to have enough money in the bank account to meet those bills, there are things you can do to help you manage the money in your business and ultimately stay afloat. We know that most businesses crash and burn because they haven't managed the money in their business. So that's what this video is about. Now, if you've not met me before, my name is Krystle McGilvery. I'm the founder of Mind Over Money. I'm a finance and behaviour change consultant and a chartered accountant, and I've been talking about and doing this stuff for over 15 years. Now, let's dive in and let's talk cash. Okay, before we go, let's just provide a quick overview as to what a cash flow forecast is and how it works. So effectively, when you use a cash flow forecast, you are using a tool that allows you to gain oversight of the next week, month, 6 months, year, cash flowing in and out of your business. And this is crucial. It's crucial because if you walk your business journey blindly, not knowing what you have to pay and when, where you're going to get your money and how much, you put yourself at crazy risk of not working out and not staying viable and sustainable. When you do a cash flow forecast, which should be a regular activity, you are looking at what are those bills you have to pay? What are your outflows? What's your tax forecast? What cash will be leaving your business? And you do the same on the other side. You think about what money is going to be flowing into my business. What are the sales going to be like? Have I got grants coming in? Investment funds? You have to pause and pay attention and identify where and when is the money coming in. Now, I know this sounds like kind of massive guesswork, and to one degree it is. And I think that's the hardest part people have grasping. On the sales side, you can use the range of information you have at your fingertips, whether that be your personal experience of running your business. So maybe you've been running for a couple of years and you know that during the winter months, things are a bit quieter, during the summer months, etc., etc. So you can use that information to forecast your sales, your revenue, the volumes, and ultimately the cash flowing into your business, combined with your payment terms. Maybe your clients pay straight away, maybe there is a 30-day delay, you know that. Also, you can use market trends, pay attention and do some research to understand what a business like yours does. When do people tend to buy from your type of business? And use that information to build your forecast. Now, I've got 2 examples to show you how this looks in real life, so you can maybe compare it to your own business and see how beneficial it can be. Let's go. Now let's start with company A. Let's call them company guesswork. So for example, company A, let's say they sell glasses and they make them in store. So they have a lot of machinery to help them make the glasses. And please know, I just made up the glasses idea on the spot this second. And they're tinkering along and they have identified an opportunity to buy a new piece of machinery that looks pretty swanky, can maybe allow them to create better quality glasses, and it's on a discount if they buy it in the next 7 days, say. They're excited and they go ahead and buy this new piece of machinery. But they haven't done a cash flow forecast. This large cash outlay causes a massive dent in their bank account. And as with any business, they still have the regular expenses every single month to pay, whether that's staff, rent, etc. They have put themselves in a very risky position. Now, for the next month, they are worried about how they're going to meet payroll, which commonly is the highest expense in a business. They haven't used a cash flow forecast and they have put themselves at risk of closing down, being unable to pay their suppliers and maybe their payroll. Now let's talk about company B, clever company. They do use a cash flow forecast. And actually, I'm going to use an example of a company that I worked at. Now, they were a multi-billion pounds company, and this particular project was bringing in a revenue of £500,000. But unfortunately, this specific client's payment terms were 90 days, 3 months. Now, what that means is after we'd sent them the invoice, they would pay us 3 months later. Now let's think about that for a minute. In that 3-month period, we still have to pay payroll, rent, energy bills, any memberships we have, etc., etc. That's where things can get really difficult if you don't have a cash flow forecast, but we did, and we managed it very well. And every week I would update the cash flow forecast with all the information about the bills we had to pay and the money coming in. Not receiving that £500,000 payment for 3 months, we could handle. Now, I hope those 2 examples showed you the difference between a business operating with a cash flow forecast and one without. It's really helpful for you to have oversight of the money flowing in and out of your business. For you to be able to use this information yourself, let me go into a little bit of detail about how you can get started with a cash flow forecast in your business today. Okay, the first step is for you to get clear about the money coming into your business and the money leaving your business. Let's start with your expenses. Literally grab a piece of paper or an Excel spreadsheet, of course I would encourage this, and list down all of those expenses. What is it you pay for? Is it website hosting? Is it electricity? What materials do you pay for? How often do you buy these things? Is it a weekly purchase or a monthly purchase? Do you have freelancers and contractors? Do you have members of staff? List all of those expenses and the date and timing of which you have to pay them, if we just focus on maybe the next month. Then we're going to do the same for our income, and often, as I said, people find this quite difficult, but use the information you have about your business to date and maybe speak to other people to get a bit of insight as to the frequency and the volume of those sales. And you want to forecast how much money are you going to be bringing in the next month. Do your clients pay immediately? Do you have to wait 30 days, 60 days? Gather that information. To get started, if you haven't done this before, do a cash flow forecast for just 30 days. Maybe split up your columns into 4 weeks, and in each of those columns, detail the amount you're going to receive and the amount you're going to pay out. This is going to allow you to see clearly how much money you're going to have left at the end of that month. Now let me talk about the benefits of doing this. There are 2 main things I want to highlight to you, but before I do, please know that this isn't an exercise that you do once and forget about. You must revisit it at least on a monthly basis. I would urge and suggest on a weekly. Now the first benefit is doing a cash flow forecast is going to allow you to see ahead of time when things may be looking a bit shaky, when maybe your bank balance is going to start to dip a bit close to zero or maybe even go into the negative. Having that information weeks or months ahead is great because that puts you in a really powerful position to make some smart decisions before you get to that point, whether that be to borrow some money or reduce your expenses or increase your sales and get really focused on that. But the opposite is also true. If looking ahead into the next few months, you see that actually you're going to have a really big bank balance in, say, maybe month 3, and there's an investment that you really wanted to make, bingo, that's maybe the time that you can make that investment. And of course, here you forecast that into your cash flow forecast so you can see the impact of buying that and spending that money. So there you have it. You now know what a cash flow forecast is. You understand the difference between inflow and outflow of cash and how to get started. If you feel like you need a bit more support on building your cash flow forecast, there is a course linked below that you can check out, and that will guide you through the steps of building your own cash flow forecast and also provide a template that you can use to do this. So do check it out and let me know what you think and how you found the building of your own cash flow forecast.